often are you feeling more frustrated than motivated in your HR role? And how do you know whether these feelings are actually warranted or if you're just really stressed out? Today, I'm sharing with you 7 signs that tell you that you are ready for the next level of your career. Today, it's about more than how long you've been on the job or even about where you went to school. It's about how you're approaching your day, so we're going to talk about that. If you are looking to get out of the everyday grind, then this video is for you. Hey, it's Brittany. I am back with today's video, and today we're talking about the signs that you need to know to make sure you are able to go to the next level in your career. Primarily, I serve HR Department of One professionals and HR department leaders to help you to break out of the chaos that can be your everyday life and to be more proactive and be less reactive as you're approaching your challenges every day. Regardless of what your role is today, I am convinced that if you are serious about moving forward in your career, you need to develop an HR Department of One mindset. So this entire channel is about developing that mindset as an HR Department of One so that you can thrive in your role and truly reach the levels that you want to reach. My goal in this channel is to give you practical tips so you can take back into your everyday life so you can go back into it with ease and with clarity. If you don't already have my free HR career guide, make sure you go ahead and grab that. It's going to give you 5 vital strategies that you need to land your next promotion. Again, it's not just about who you know or even what you know or where you studied and all those things that people think used to work in, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, even 5 years ago. Today's HR professionals need something different, so that's what the guide will help you identify. Click the link down below to get your copy and then come right back to finish this video. Here are 7 signs that can tell you that you are actually ready for that next level in your career. Sign number 1, boredom is creeping in more often than not and it's starting to affect your mood. So as an HR professional, the things that we do on a daily basis can feel mundane. And so there might be some things that are not as exciting as other things. But that's not the kind of boredom I'm talking about. I'm talking about the boredom that, you feel like you're not being challenged. You feel that you're not being able to expand your knowledge. You're not given an opportunity to do new things. There are going to be certain parts of your job that are going to feel boring, and that kind of comes with the territory because as an HR professional, you have to do certain things just to keep the department afloat. We'll talk more about this in the very next point that I want to make, but I also want to help you identify what is not a sign that you're ready for the next level. It's one thing to not be excited about the mundane things that happen, but if you're at a point now where even the new things don't excite you, that's not a sign that you're ready to move up in your career. That's more of a sign that you're not really fulfilled in your role. You might even be rethinking the fact that whether you want to be an HR professional in the first place. Distinguishing between these two feelings, even though it's the same feeling, the reason why you feel these ways is going to be very important for you to identify. You'll notice this in my HR career guide and a lot of my emails. I challenge you and I encourage you to be very introspective. Again, as you're growing your career, you want to do it on purpose and you want to do it with purpose, but you also have to know your own limits. You have to know what motivates you. You want to know what challenges you, and you want to understand how you actually feel. That's why I keep asking you all these questions and all these videos, because I want you to think about not just what I say, and not just what you hear other people say and other people do, but how are you actually feeling about where you are in your career right now? That's the number one factor that's really important. That's what I work with my coaching clients with, to help you identify where you are right now, help you develop new habits, help you to shift limiting beliefs and all those things. So get really, really clear on where you feel boredom, why you feel that boredom, and then if you are clear that you're only bored because you want to be more challenged, then let's move into the very next step. The number 2 sign that you're ready for that very next challenge is that you feel that you have mastered your current role. Now, again, there's no way we can be perfect at everything. You're never going to know everything about everything. But at a certain point, those mundane tasks that we talked about before that can get really boring and just kind of routine, those can feel like you've mastered them. Once you've gotten to the point where you have mastered those tasks, you might be ready for that next level. I caution you though, don't rush past this step. I think a lot of times HR professionals and probably people in all industries feel that you've mastered the role before you actually have. Just because you want to have mastered the role does not mean that you have mastered the role. So when I say master the roles, that means, is there a level of predictability that comes with the work that you do? Are you able to set up your own systems and your own processes? Are you working from checklists? Are you working from a process that's going to be kind of buttoned up in a way that, things don't surprise you, in a way where you know what's going to happen, you can anticipate things happening, and you're ready for things to happen. Too often, because we're bored, going back to that first point, because we're bored about the things that happen, we just assume that we've mastered the role. But if we're still making mistakes, if we're still missing deadlines, if we're still being surprised by things that should happen that we shouldn't be surprised by, then we have not mastered the role yet. If you're serious about mastering your role, that's one of the reasons why my highest recommendation for HR Department of One leaders and HR department professionals is to have the Thriving HR Planner. It's going to help you to set aside time for your next 12 months to help you anticipate different things that are going to come at your way. That way you know what's going to happen. It helps you get more control over your day, optimize your department, create more systems, and just have more clarity around the work that you do. When we ask for more or when we expect more, we have to also realize that that work is going to be difficult. It's going to be more difficult. So the mundane things that are boring right now, the things that happen all the time, the things that, you can do in your sleep, you want to master these things because your job will only get harder from here. You must be solid with the basics before you want to think to add anything else to your plate. The next sign that you're ready for that very next level in your career is that continuous learning comes easy for you. Now, for some people, learning and finding new ways to do new things, it just feels like a chore. It feels like a burden. It feels like something that they just have to do, or things that they may do if they have the time. But again, you never have the time. So if you're always seeking out ways to not just learn more things, because like I said before, there's no shortage of information. We have all the information that we have at our fingertips. What we do with that information is something completely different. We'll talk about that probably in another video. But if you are constantly seeking out new ways to learn, seeking out new ways to improve your systems, finding new ways to make the things you currently do work better, to work smarter and not harder, if all that comes natural to you, then you might be ready. If learning feels like a chore to you, if learning feels like, it's just a burden and you just want to get to the point where you know it all, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but there will never be a time where you know everything about everything. Even at my level, I'm continuously learning new things on purpose. I work in executive leadership right now where I lead 3 departments. I'm continuously learning new things. And I feel like once we get to the point where we're not learning, that's where we get stuck. So continuous learning should be a given. Continuous learning should be a non-negotiable. One of the signs that learning is important for HR professionals is that our certifications, not only do we have to study and pass the exams, but to keep those certifications, whether it's HRCI or through SHRM, we have to recertify. So we have to recertify either through education by taking the test again, or through continuous education, getting recertification credits and having enough for that 3-year period. So again, as an HR professional, continuous learning should be just routine. You should always build that into your time. Again, you will never have more time than you need, so you have to build it in to make time for what you have to do. You'll know that continuous learning is natural to you, comes natural to you, and is not a chore when you have a proven track record for innovative thinking and innovative doing. And that's the 4th sign that tells you that you're ready for that very next level in your career. Again, anyone can have ideas. We have no shortage of information, but only a few people can take things from ideation to implementation. It takes a strong leader to do that. So if you have a proven track record of doing that within your own group, within your own team, within your own department, you're ready for that very next level. Because if you can be successful here, you can be successful there. One of the things that gets new managers stuck or new leaders stuck if they're very successful in their role, say they make widgets and they're a widget maker and they're the best widget maker on the line, and then they get promoted to the manager role, they get promoted to some type of supervisor or leadership role. The skill set that it took them to be a great widget maker is not really the skill set that will take them to be a great leader. And so that's why I say it's important to not just be a master of your role, a master of your trade, but you have to be one that's going to be a lifelong learner. You have to be one that's going to take new ideas and find different ways to optimize your systems. Those are things that a leader does. So if you're in a role right now and you're seeking growth, do more than just what it takes to do your day-to-day work. You have to find ways to optimize what you're doing. You have to find ways to get to that very next level. Again, these are things that I work with my clients with to help you to identify areas that you can optimize. What systems do you already have? What's working best for you? What's not working? And where are your gaps? You don't want to boil the ocean. You don't want to just approach everything like everything is important or everything's a priority. You have to find out what makes the most sense to you and what makes best sense to your department, to your organization, and identify ways where you can help to elevate what's happening in your organization. The next sign that you're ready for your next level in your career is that you are comfortable speaking up for yourself. Now, it's easy to be your own worst critic. I think we're all our own worst critic. When I watch my videos back, when I think about my own performance on my 9-to-5 or in my business, I can find every mistake there is. But also, we have to not only be our own worst critic because it helps us identify our blind spots, but we have to also be our biggest cheerleaders. our biggest advocates. Think about it this way: the grace that you extend to other people, how often are you extending that grace to yourself? You want to be so introspective and you know yourself so well that you know when you're ready for that very next level. You will likely know that you're ready before your supervisor will know it, or before anyone else around you will know it. So sometimes you have to let them know what you're capable of, what you've done. You have to remind them what you've done, because they might not have seen it, or they might not have realized that the reason why things have happened is because of the work that you put in. Again, you have to speak up for yourself and advocate for yourself, especially when you're working as HR department of one. No one is going to advocate for you. You are your own advocate, so you have to find ways to speak up for yourself to get that next level that you know you deserve. Speaking up and asking for more can look like a lot of different ways. It's not necessarily asking for a promotion or for a new title or for a new rate of pay. It could be asking to be a part of some meetings that you're not typically a part of, whether it's some type of leadership team or an executive team or the board meeting. Even if you're not presenting or you're not speaking, just be a fly on the wall. Just express an interest and find different ways to learn about what makes sense to the business. How does the business make money? How are we growing and retaining our client base? What makes sense to us? What are our pain points right now? Once you learn more about the strategic direction of your organization, you can really find ways to add value and see where any gaps that currently exist can be assisted or can be fixed by the work that you do. It's unlikely that you're going to get invited to these spaces, so you have to be comfortable with speaking up for yourself so that you can make sure you're getting a chance to get a seat at the table like you want. The sixth sign that you're ready for the next step in your career is that you take your professional network seriously and the growth of that network seriously. You intentionally go out and you find new places to meet new people, whether it's local HR associations, whether it's national HR associations, and all things in between. But you find spaces to not only go and learn and go and grow, but you find ways to help to meet new people and to volunteer on different committees and to get your name out there so that people can also see that you know a lot and you have things to add value in other ways. If you ever think that you are the smartest person in the room, find another room. That's my best advice, because you want to find different ways to learn and grow. That's the only way you're going to grow. If you're a big fish in a small pond, and choose the pond, but if you're a big fish in a small pond, you literally have no room to grow. Find different ponds, find different spaces where there's going to be room around you for you to grow and glean from others, and just find different ways to add to your own toolkit. The seventh sign that you're ready for that very next level in your career is that you have a desire, a strong desire, a calling even, to positively impact the lives of those around you. You're not driven to get to that next level because you want more pay. You're not driven to get to that next level because you want to make more money, or you want to drive a better car, or you want to live in a nicer neighborhood, or you want to move, or all those things are great and all those things come along with it, but that's not your primary motivator. Your primary motivator is that you know that with that new level, with that new status level, you're going to have more influence. You're going to have more ability, more authority to make things happen within your organization. Think about it this way: if you can make great things happen where you are right now, how much more impact could you have if you were elevated in a way? That's the desire that you have behind wanting to do more things and to get that next promotion, to get that title change. You're not motivated by just the money. If you were motivated by only the money, you just find somewhere else to work. You just go, you be job hopping from place to place to place. You're not hopping from job to job. You're there because you enjoy being there. You know the impact of the work that you've already done, and you know there's so much more that you can do as well. Being driven in this way is not a bad thing, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Being driven in this way is one thing that has helped me to succeed, because I have a desire to just help other people. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing here in this business as well. The best leaders I know, the best mentors I know, the best leaders I know have a desire to serve others. They serve others. They don't expect people to serve them. So if you have that mentality, you are that much closer to getting that next level to your career. Bonus sign, one more thing that can tell you that you're ready for the very next level, is that with all the things that are happening in the world today, just like you have a lot of things that are going on in your personal life, the people that you're serving, the employees, the managers, the leaders, the executive team, they also have things going on in their personal life. And you don't allow what's going on in your personal life to affect how you impact others around you. Yes, we all have our bad days. Yes, we all have things that happen because we're all human. No, not one of us is a machine. But we know you hold yourself to a higher standard, and you understand that the work that you do is so impactful. You have to come in and have that brave face when you're doing your work to know that, you know, the person on the other end of that conversation who's facing eviction, or who's dealing with a healthcare challenge, or who's dealing with an aging parent or a sick child, they have their things, and everything is relative. I'm not saying that what you're going through is not important as well. I'm not saying that what I'm not going through is not important. But again, you understand that In those moments where you're facing things where you're talking to an employee or a manager or a leader and you're helping them through their situation, you kind of put your things to the side and you help them through it because you know that that's what the situation calls for in that moment. That's a learned skill. It doesn't come easy, but it's one of the things that I feel separates great HR professionals from good HR professionals. If you can really be selfless in those moments to truly, truly serve the people around you. Now that you've gotten some clarity around the signs that'll tell you if you're ready for that very next level, whether you're just bored and stressed out and burnt out, or you're really, really ready for that next level, I challenge you to figure out what that next level looks like for you. Is it a new title? Is it to be a part of a certain team? Is it more pay? Like, what is it that you want? What does it look like? I challenge you to go ahead and write that down. Putting it on paper makes it more real, makes it more tangible. It makes it that much more likely that you'll achieve that goal because you know you'll be working towards it even in the back of your mind. And if you're thinking about getting to the very next level and you want to make sure that you're not just asking for more, but you realize what more is, watch this video next to make sure that you get that clarity that you need. If this was helpful for you, leave a comment down below and like this video so it can be pushed out to more people that could be helped by it. Talk to you in your next video. Bye.